lot of things are moving forward and new ideas or old ideas are resurfacing, coming back up. But how do you truly know if it's actually something that you really, really want to do from your heart, from your soul, or if it's just some idea that you feel like you should do, or you're doing it from a place of lack or because of other people's expectations, opinions? Welcome to Move with Soul. I'm Jeannie, and this is a podcast where we talk about somatic embodiment and how it can help you better be in your body, connected with yourself, your dreams, your desires, make better decisions. And each episode is inspired by the astrological transits. You don't have to have any knowledge of astrology to benefit from this. It's simply inspired by the collective energies. So whether you're tuning in for the week of February 1st through the 7th, 2025, or because the title has resonated with you, trust that. Now, taking a look at the week ahead, really this is more about the entire month ahead, because we have some planets getting ready to station direct to move forward, bringing that energy back alive, waking it up. And then we also have Venus getting ready to station retrograde at the end of the month. So it's kind of this exchange, this push-pull of different areas of our lives, different energies that are getting ready to re-emerge versus slow down and go back underneath the surface to reevaluate everything. And what this reminds me of, because we have Jupiter, the planet of our hopes and our dreams and expansion and growth and luck and abundance and over-exaggeration, getting ready to station direct, along with Mars, which won't quite clear its shadow till May, but that's besides the point, the planet of how we take action, our desires, how we move forward in life, getting ready to go direct. So some of those old ideas that you might have had, or old dreams or goals, could be coming back up to the surface, and you might have this momentum, this forward momentum to go for them again. But as we have Venus getting ready to pull back, that's the planet of joy and pleasure and luxury and female friendships and women, money, how you earn money as well. That's getting ready to pull back. So just notice, do you have any of these old dreams or desires? Like now, maybe now's the time, for example. Like you had this idea a couple months back, maybe in the summer, but now you have the opportunity to move forward on it. Are you actually checking in with yourself if this is something that is true for you, something that you want to do, something you still have energy for? Because sometimes, like, let's be honest, we take these goals or these ideas, these aspirations, because we think that other people will be happy with us, or that our expectations of what we think our life needs to look like, this goal or thing that we want to accomplish is going to get us there. But have you ever been knee deep in some kind of a project and just been like, ugh, everything about this feels weird and inauthentic and I don't have the motivation for it. I don't want to do it anymore. Yes, it could be like self-sabotage cycles where you are playing small or you come up against that edge in your comfort zone. But it could also be this, like it's actually not coming from you. It's coming from this outside pressure, outside someone else's desire for your life and what you're doing versus coming from within. And a lot of people, they ask me, a lot of clients, like, Jeannie, I have these new goals and desires and things I want to do in my life, things I want to change, my job, my health routine, my habits, friendships, whatever. But how am I going to have the capacity to do it? I work full time. I have other responsibilities. How can I add this thing in? And really, it's not about adding in, it's more about taking away the stuff that is not correct for you, the stuff that actually isn't fueling you and coming from that deep, sacral desire, like that Mars, that primal, like I'm moving forward toward this, and the Jupiter, like I am going into this direction of expansion. Where do you want to expand into? And are the things that you're working on and that are close to your heart, your goals, are they even aligned with you? All fun things to think about, right? I'd be so curious to know, even just as you hear me speaking, right, what's coming to your mind? What is coming up for you with this? We're here in February if you're watching this in current time, so maybe you just set a bunch of intentions for the new year. But where are those intentions even coming from? Are they coming from this lack, this space of I need to be better, I'm going to be happier when that happens? Or is it coming from this grounded sense of like, this is my purpose, this is what I'm meant to be doing, and I don't know why necessarily, but I just feel this energetic pull, this magnetism towards said thing or way of being, however it shows up for you. So from a somatic point of view, you can use your body to tell. because our mind will play these tricks on us. Our mind can tell us all sorts of stories, but your body doesn't lie. Not necessarily saying that your visceral reaction, your body's reaction to something, is the universal truth. You could have stored memories or things you went through in the past that are dictating your body's reaction to something. But your body tends to go that layer underneath your mind. Your mind could say, my mom's going to be so happy and proud if I do this thing. Or my community, my clients really want me to provide my service in this way. But you might feel this little ping in your guts, or maybe your jaw tightens, or you get a headache when you think about something. That could be your body speaking to you, telling you, hey, something's off, and it could be something within you that you could switch and it's an easy fix, or it could be a total scrap of this plan, idea, goal, desire, whatever, right? But when you start to pay attention to your somatic cues, you get these clues as to how you really feel beneath your mind. And it's just another tool, another layer to pay attention to if you want to live your most aligned life and spend time on the things that are actually important to you and less time on those things that you're just running in circles and finding yourself in the same pattern. Are you with me? One of my favorite exercises to do to start to get used to your body's reactions and noticing what feels like a yes and what feels like a no. And also, just this might take time. It's a new way of doing things, perhaps. You'll start by getting yourself into a little bit of a meditation, even if it's just a couple of breaths, or in some type of a state where you're neutral. This isn't a good practice to do when something just happened, you're highly emotionally charged, or you're really excited about something, or you're feeling really down in the dumps. You want to do this at a place where you're feeling pretty stable, solid, not too high, not too low. And you'll take a couple of breaths. You'll get into that meditative state, more or less. And then you'll bring to mind things that you know you love. Like you love swimming in the ocean. You love petting your dog. You love your partner. You love whatever. Something that you know for a fact. You don't have to decide if it's good for you. It's not this big emotionally charged thing. It's just something that you love. And if you can just take a second to observe how your body reacts. Do you feel butterflies in your stomach? Does your skin feel like a cool breeze has just passed over it? Do you notice your shoulders relax? It's going to be different for everybody. It's going to be different for you. You could even test out different categories, like what does it feel like when my body wants a certain food? What does it feel like when I'm around this person in my body or when I think of this person? And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start to bring to your mind, whether you visualize something or you think about something, however it is, you just say it out loud, however you best can connect with something while you're in this meditative state, more or less. And then start to think of things you know that you don't like if there's a person you can't stand, or if there's a place you really didn't vibe with, or maybe you hate getting up early, or whatever it is, whatever you know you don't like, and start to notice again your body's reactions. Do you feel this sinking feeling? Do you see a certain color? Do you start to get irritated? Just notice how your body reacts. And if you do this, it's not a one and done thing. Okay, this equals this. No, it's ever changing. We are ever changing and evolving. But if you just start to play this little game with yourself, you'll start to notice how your body really feels. You can even do this in the grocery store, walk up and down the aisles. Once you get comfortable with the things that you know for a fact you like and don't like, or that are a yes or a no for you, start to bring in random things this brand of sparkling water. Do I have no reaction, this reaction, or that reaction? And my point is the more that you put this into practice of learning your body and your own somatic cues with things that don't really matter, whether you buy what sparkling water brand or not, right? Then when the big things come in, when this Jupiter goes direct, this Mars goes direct, you're ready for it, but this Venus is getting ready to pull back. And then maybe these ideas, these goals, these aspirations, these communities, these things you want to start and do and move forward on and expand, right, Jupiter? You'll start to notice in your body, Mars, how you really feel about it. Is this still aligned from you, or is it coming from someone else? When you're met with these choice points and you have your body on board to help you make these decisions, you have just unlocked like infinite more amount of intuition, truth, authenticity, and groundedness. Like, not saying that the choice is always going to be easy, especially with all the mental stories that flood in, especially if it involves other people. But just that inner knowing that you are making these decisions from these centered points of how you really feel, you know? And if you get a different reaction from your body, then you can start to explore it from there. So I'd love to know, is this a totally new concept for you? Is this a different way of thinking about it? Are you going to try this practice? And what type of ideas, goals, dreams are circling around in the second month of the year that you want to check in on and see how you really feel? Helping people make embodied decisions is one of my all-time favorite things to do. It's a huge part of my story and why I've done this work. I have a whole podcast series on that about embodied decisions. If you want to hear more about my chaotic way of finding myself here in this chair sharing this message. But also, if you want some support in making these decisions, I'm offering free discovery calls. Essentially, it's a coaching session where you get to try these embodiment things. You can come to me with the decision you're trying to make, and you get to test it out and see if these practices and this method of going about your life is supportive for you. So I'll leave the link to book that down below. I would love to get to know you personally. And thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you next week.